We have had the most delightful evening, Mr. Bennet, the most excellent ball. You should have been there. Jane was so admired. Mr. Bingley thought her beautiful and danced with her twice. And the 2/3 he danced with Miss King, and the 2/4 he danced with Maria Lucas, and the 2/6...
If he had any compassion for me, he'd have sprained his ankle in the first dance.
And I never, in all my life, saw anything more elegant than the Miss Bingley dresses.
Stop! I warn you, I will have no descriptions of finery.
Mary was mentioned to the Miss Bingleys as the most accomplished girl in the neighbourhood, and Kitty and Lydia were never without partners. Lydia's lace slip.
Of course. And, Lizzie?
Lizzie was slighted by Mr. Darcy, so high and conceited I quite detest the man. He walked here and he walked there, fancying himself so great. Not handsome enough to dance with, indeed. I wish you'd been there, my dear, to give him one of your set downs.
Such ease, such manners, such perfect breeding.
You have liked many a stupider person, I will say that.
Lizzie!
You are a great deal too apt to like people in general. You never find fault in anyone. I have never heard you speak ill of another human being in my life.
I always say what I think.
That is the wonder of it. You liked his sisters too, I dare say.
I did not. Not at first. But after a little while they appeared quite pleasing. I was very much flattered by his asking me to dance a second time.
Dear Jane, he admired you.
I did not expect such a compliment.
That is the wonder of it. Compliments always take you by surprise. And me never.
Oh, horrid Mr. Darcy, Elizabeth. To say such things in your hearing. What Mr. Bingley sees in him, I cannot think.
Mr. Bingley sees in Mr. Darcy a man whose breeding, if not his manners, is superior to his own. The Bingley fortune, after all, has been acquired through trade, unlike Mr. Darcy's.
Mr. Bingley has one great advantage, however. He is sure of being liked wherever he goes, whereas wherever Mr. Darcy appears, he gives offence.
Quite. I wonder what they are saying of us.
A collection of people in whom there is little beauty and no fashion. I do not feel the slightest interest in any of them, and fail to see how you can possibly do so. This place is the end of the world, Bingley, and they retire so early.
I like it here. It is a good enough house. One has the liberty of a manor. A man must have an estate of his own, if he cannot have his father's. And I never met pleasanter people in my life. Or prettier girls, come to that. Oh, the eldest Miss Bennet is an angel. Such ease, such manners, such beauty, such kindness.
She smiles too much.
I'm sure I wish I smiled more. But at what? Life's so dull.
She is a sweet girl.
I quite liked her.
One must converse with someone, I dare say.
That is so, especially when one is in the countryside.
The eldest Miss Bennet is allowed to be a sweet girl for lack of competition. Bingley, you may think of her as you choose. But not allowed. One last game?
What is a ball if not to be talked over? What are young men if not to be discussed?
You began the evening well, Charlotte. You were Mr. Bingley's first choice.
But he seemed to like his second better, Jane. Mr. Bingley was overheard to say that the eldest Miss Bennet was the prettiest woman in the room.
Mr. Darcy was not so well worth overhearing, was he? Poor Lizzie, to be only just tolerable. Mr. Darcy is so disagreeable, Lydia, that to be liked by him would be a misfortune. They say he sat next to Mrs. Long for half an hour and never said a single word. I dare say he found out she came in a chaise, not a carriage.
Oh, Miss Bingley did tell me that Mr. Darcy never does speak much, unless among his intimate acquaintance.
Oh, Jane!
There is perhaps an excuse for his pride. One cannot help but wonder that so very fine a young man, with family, fortune, everything in his favour, should think highly of himself. If I may so express it, he has a right to be proud.
That is perhaps true. I could more easily forgive his pride had he not mortified mine.